honored graduates, Sedro-Woolley School District board members, faculty, parents, family, and friends. Tonight we are gathered in individual homes, yet collectively, to recognize our class of 2020 graduates as they complete their 13-year journey with the Sedro-Woolley School District. I feel blessed to stand before you this evening as principal of Sedro-Woolley High School. Tonight marks our 116th graduation ceremony, and it has been one for the record books, just as our graduates deserve every type of award there is out there for never giving up. Before we begin, I want to take a few moments to recognize the effort and care of those that made this happen. It takes many hours to host a flawless 2-hour graduation ceremony, but this one in particular would never have come together without the amazing dedication of Carol Stradoff, who we call our graduation guardian angel, leading us all in the organization of this event. The administrative team of Jerry Grisham, Laura Schmidt, Andrea Clancy, Jerry Gardner, Chris Spencer, and Danny Crosby. You have been immense in your care and leadership. Our Sedro-Woolley maintenance and ground crews led by Chet Griffith and Ken Franks have been flawless in their efforts. Gratitude and thanks beyond words are extended to Mr. Steve McCart, our daily pun expert extraordinaire, retiring after 35 years of teaching, along with Ryan Haug, owner of Motion State, and working side by side to create our 2020 Sedro-Woolley High School virtual ceremony. Thank you to Gavin Grant interpreting the entire ceremony into American Sign Language, to Ms. Chase and Ms. Playford, who are reading the names of our honored graduates, and Mr. Paul Brask for working with our choir students. Thank you as well to our counseling team who have guided and mentored our seniors onto their next path, earning $3.1 million offered in scholarships. And most importantly, all of this would not be possible without the incredible dedication of our school board members, Mrs. Christina Jefferson, Mr. Enrique Lopez Cisneros, Mr. Eric Johnson, Miss Danny Russell, and Mr. Brandon Bond. The tireless efforts of our superintendent, Mr. Phil Brockman, and executive leadership team, and the incredible impact of our high school teaching team and all district staff, elementary and middle school, in the lives of our seniors. Thank you. Class of 2020 graduates, parents, family members, and Sedro-Woolley community, I want to extend my gratitude to you for allowing me to serve as your student's principal over these past 4 years at our high school. I am also in awe and honored to acknowledge that we gather today on the ancestral homelands of the Coast Salish peoples who have lived and preserved this land long before our time here. Join me in expressing our deepest respect and gratitude for our indigenous neighbors, the Upper Skagit Tribe and Nooksack Tribe, for their enduring care and protection of our shared lands and waterways. At this time, I am privileged to bring Zoe Slabanek to the stage as she will lead us in the singing of our national anthem, and also signed in American Sign Language by an amazing group of our graduates. Please remove your hats and rise at this time.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet J Cubs, this is McKenna Peterson and Megan Friend here with your class of 2020 roll call-ins.
Because we are graduating today, we thought we should take a moment to look back on the good old days and walk our way through time. Let's start with kindergarten.
Kindergarten. We were so little, like little birds hatching and flying for the first time.
I wouldn't say we learned to fly, but we did learn most of our basic skills. You know, like how to hold a pencil and write the alphabets.
I read my very first Brooks in kindergarten too.
Yeah, and we would always walk in our straight a line whenever we left the classroom.
And at the end of the day, we would be saying goodbye to all of our friends, yelling, "See ya tomorrow" or "Garcia later."
Now that I look back on it, we were all acting childish.
One of the best parts of elementary school was when they posted Alyssa school supplies.
For real, we would go to Staples and pick out everything we needed. Somehow, we always ended up with S.C. Johnson cleaning supplies.
That's pretty wise, though. They're a pretty reliable Brandon.
I don't remember much of elementary school. Now that I think of it, I do remember 6th grade, though. We went to that camp. The one named after the Whalen. What was it called?
Oh yeah, Camper Kylie? I also remember making those fun animals out of paper. What was that called? Giovanni?
Oh, origami.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I definitely remember thinking that high school was gonna be more like High School Musical movies.
Yeah, I'm still kind of sad that isn't true. I wanted to sing on a stage like Roy and Gabrielle and be soaring, flying. There's not a star from heavenly we can see.
Speaking of movies, Cinderella is a classic princess movie. She would be kneeling on her hands and knees, scrubbing the floors with soap and water.
Yeah, and she got that magic angel.
You mean a fairy godmother?
Oh, yeah. And there was Ariel, who fell in love with Prince Eric. She taught us to disregard roles.
Did you ever notice how no one ever used the John in movies? Too bad life's not like that.
Moving on. Next is middle school, that very awkward point in life for all young teens out there. The only thing I remember from this part of life is the We Just Dance game in PE. Good thing they didn't make us learn the walls.
Seriously, that would have been a mess. Do you remember always going to Dairy Queen or AM/PM after school?
Yes. One time I recall looking and seeing Trayvon and Mauricio jade walking.
Are you sure it was them? Maybe it was Christopher and Jennifer.
Now that I think of it, I don't remember who it was. That was too long ago. But do you know what doesn't feel like very long ago?
What?
Freshman year. We were the lowmen on the totem pole. We were told that we had to take chemistry and learn about the atoms. And we also had to take physics as a requirement to graduate. Like, why will I ever use this?
I know. It was such a weird transition because of the block schedule. Classes seemed to take forever. I remember thinking, Isabella ever gonna ring?
For reals. By the end of each week, I was so ready for Zoe Weekend. We would run our errands and shop at Ross and Macy's for Schwett's and Jordans and carry on it all back to the car.
Do you remember our first Hoko? Sparks were always flying that whole week and everybody was smithing with each other.
I do remember that. I remember getting my dress tailored and buying self-tanner and inviting all my friends to Lorenzo's for dinner. I think I got the Camacho burrito. It was a little cold in the middle, but I ate it anyway.
Building the floats was epic. Everyone would go down to E&E Lumber for carloads of paint and supplies.
After that, I feel like the year moved rather quickly, and by the end, or the middle of freshman year, I guess, we were sadly introduced to Mr. Jensen.
Oh yeah, he was a hard graber.
He was the one that will give me all my gray hairs.
I think we were the ones to make him lose all of his hairs.
Probably.
Well, then we moved into sophomore year. The year where we weren't quite upperclassmen, but we weren't considered a lowerclassman.
We could drive, though. That was pretty cool.
We were always wondering when we would get our license, although Camden probably shouldn't have been allowed to drive. I mean, he did run his car into the bleachers and brent it. He probably had to take his car to O'Reilly's, and they might have had to use an Allen wrench. Good thing he didn't have Alexis.
I know. Poor guy. But driving wasn't that hard to master. I mean, as long as you stay in your lane and you put your car in reverse instead of drive.
Yeah, maybe he was directionally challenged. He probably wanted to go west instead of south.
Ah, you're probably right. Also, do you think at least one of us wanted a Mini Cooper for our first car? What did you want for your first car? Did you want a Pigford?
No, I actually wanted Burton Gustard's blue Toyota Echo from Psych. Speaking of Psych, Gus's best friend Sean Spencer once said there can only be Juan, but not for some last names. There are actually 3 Hernandezes: Hernandez Flores, Hernandez Lara, and Hernandez Santos.
But wait, there's more. Such as the 2 Sanchezes, Sanchez Aviles and Sanchez Ortiz. And we can't forget about the 3 Lopezes, Lopez Nolasco, Lopez Martinez, and Lopez Padilla.
Let's go on to junior year. That year was full of challenges. What was that one called? The Kylie Jennings something?
Oh, you mean the Kylie Jenner lip challenge?
Yeah. Another challenge was the parking lot.
Oh, yeah. It was like a sheet of ice in the winter, and everybody had to put the Janes on their tires.
I think the biggest challenge of all was walking in without a Morgan's coffee in the morning. I was thinking the struggle is real.
I'm just going to be Franklin with you. I love a good iced white chocolate Americano, but a Red Bull Spritzer was what was keeping me going.
Junior year was stressful. I always found myself aiding my sorrows away. I mean, that's better than crying, am I right?
Well, how could you not eat? Sedro-Woolley restaurants are the best ever, like Joyce Bakery, where we would go and order an omelet and a side of hash browns, or Eggs Benedict with Hamilton.
Can't forget Hallie's.
No, Hal's. There we would sit in the booth, and they would cook us up an hamburger with Colby Jack cheese and Heinz ketchup. We were always asking for more ranch for our fries.
Oh, and don't forget about the Dr. Pepper.
Or heading to McDonald's after the basketball game and ordering chicken McNuggets.
I definitely needed some weightlifting after a good old splurge. I would walk in and say, "Hey Lee, are we squatting today?" Obviously the answer was yes.
I mean, he's right. Every day is leg day. Gotta toner up our muscles.
I was always thinking to myself, I can barely stand it by the end of the workout, but we made big gay hands in that class to get our bodies ready for summer.
The summer before senior year was a memorable one.
That's for sure. We would always go to La Conner and get snow goose.
Yum. And we would go to the Woolly Fair and ride the Ferris wheel and jump off the Hoodok at Otter Pond.
Oh yeah, that was so much fun. We would also go kayaking down the Riviera. We could hardly wait for senior year.
I know, and it started out so fun. We were painting our parking spots and the senior slogan on the bleachers.
Oh my gosh, and the FNLs where the band played the national anthem, and we would sit up in the stands and chant while the football players were jostling around on the field.
Yeah, they fall a lot. Do you think their bums hurt after the next day? I mean, they do have bum gardeners on.
You mean football pads?
Yeah. I wonder how many times the average player twisted their ankles.
Yeah, I bet after their games they were tuckered out.
Do you remember the game between us and Burlington where we beat them 40-3?
Yeah, it was epic. Why?
We beat them by so much. We basically dug a hole and burrowed them in it.
I mean, you win some, you lose some.
That's true.
Hey, I just remembered Miss Heineman made me write a poem. Do you want to hear it?
Sure.
I was sitting in the Jaden cooling off, eating an artichoke by the lily pads on the lake, my dog wagging her tail.
Oh my, that's, great. Mr. Schuster just made me write a hook sentence, and then 10 pages after that.
Oof. Let's talk about the dress Cody for a minute. We have been dealing with this for 4 years. All the lints on our clothes. Everybody has to wear t-shirts in PE, which makes everyone pit us out.
Okay, maybe the dress code got lost in translation. Isaiah, we make a list of our concerns and present it to the school board. I mean, we are graduates now. We have earned the right to speak on behalf of our lower classmen.
Anyway, back to the fun parts of senior year. We're having such a good year, and Jasmine, we thought we were going to graduate like Noramel. 2020 had to go and throw another curveball.
I know. You would think we were in the Hunger Games Serena by the way things have gone this year. It started on a downhill slide, and it just kept going. Kobe Bryant died. A pandemic hits. The Dow and Jones went down. all the hand sanitizer and toilet paper is sold out. There are Lutons in Seattle, and now there are big bees flying from Asia all over the place.
It really is something. I mean, who would have thought we'd be driving by in our Carson honking our horners just to celebrate birthday Dukes?
It's crazy. But besides the birthdays, I really haven't done much of anything.
Me either. Quarantine has got me so void. We traded all those dusty old books in for Zoom, and all I do is cram all my homework into the day it's due.
I know. The online school is making me go crazy.
I feel that. Looking at the white screen of my Tobisha computer makes you feel like you're gonna lose your marbles.
Facts. Some of my teachers have told me I'll extend the deadline, but most are pretty wary about allowing late work, and they would eventually put our grades in skyward.
What a crazy way to end the year. And now here we are in our cap and gowns, and they're handing us our diplomas.
And faster than Eduardo moved in Twilight, we're all gonna be Gonzalez, chasing our dreams, whatever they may be.
After high school, when we have to do that adulting thing, we will be paying our billings and our Elises. We'll be getting married, going to Jared Jewelers, and can't forget about getting health insurance.
I heard Molina Healthcare is pretty reliable.
Ugh, growing up sounds pricey.
I know. That $5,000 bill sure would come in handy right about now.
What? They make those?
Not anymore, but they used to. I think I read about them somewhere. I'm pretty sure Thomas Edison was on the front.
Hey, Alexa, is there such thing as a $5,000 bill?
I bet Robert Gates has one.
Beats me. All this talk about money is making me stressed. I need a vacation. You know the one like the Zac Brown band sings about? Got my toes in the water, bottom in the sand. Not a lorry in the world to sweep my kind of hand.
Well, class of 2020, we have many memories and experiences together. It's been a trying end to our senior year, but we want to leave you with this.
We are so proud of what we all have accomplished and so excited for this new chapter in our lives. We are each other's forever family. We love you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, graduates, students and teachers, parents, siblings, and friends, lend me your ears. What an honor it is to be speaking for you all today. My name is Katia Matsko, and I will be serving as the 2020-2021 National Honor Society President. Today, I have the honor and privilege to announce the Sedro-Woolley High School valedictorians of the 2020 graduating class. The COVID-19 pandemic may have intervened in the traditional flow of the school year and graduation, but it did not put a stop to recognizing our lovely valedictorians for all of their efforts. It is important to now take a moment and define what being a valedictorian means. A valedictorian is a student having the highest academic achievements of one's class. But being a valedictorian is much more than academic achievement. It is the possession of leadership, character, and determination. The class of 2020 has not only one, but 3 incredible valedictorian students. These individuals have sacrificed their time, made difficult decisions, and with a fiery passion in their heart to be successful, worked hard towards their goals. They're more than valedictorians. They're positive role models, admirable leaders within our school and community. For many years to come, Sedro-Woolley High School will appreciate and respect these marvelous individuals for all their efforts. Now, let us honor our valedictorians, who this year are Anna Rutherford, Isaiah Guerrero, and Megan Friend. Anna Rutherford will be attending the University of Notre Dame, where she will study applied mathematics as well as global health and development. In high school, Anna has received a varsity letter in tennis, soccer, and basketball. She was also an active member of the band and Wish Club. Anna is a spectacular individual who constantly works hard to achieve her goals. Isaiah Guerrero plans to attend Northwest University in Kirkland this fall to pursue a degree in the health sciences. He's an exceptional singer-songwriter and guitarist who uses his skills to serve God on the worship team at Bethany Covenant Church. In high school, he has played in the advanced jazz band all 4 years, consistently volunteered, and took challenging AP classes. Isaiah is a terrific young man with an admirable dedication to help and serve others. Megan Friend is committed to attending Eastern Washington University and pursue a degree in the physical therapy. This year she has served as the Sedro-Woolley High School ASB president. She's a very talented athlete and dedicated to always serving her community. Megan is a strong leader who's always ready to help others with a smile. We see you 2020 valedictorians, and we thank and appreciate you for all your diligence. I'm sure we can all agree that success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, and sacrifice. Victory only happens when you refuse to stop fighting for it. And you did it. You achieved victory. Anna, Isaiah, and Megan, thank you for your motivation, inspiration, and determination. The time has now come to hear from your phenomenal valedictorians themselves.
Light blue. Walking into the cafeteria on the first day of school, both excited and nervous.
Yellow. Freshman here. Stoked to get out of middle school.
Greenish. This was the color you felt after running the pacer for the first time, before you knew that it didn't count for a grade.
Orange. The fear you feel when Mel finds out you disobeyed her medical advice.
Washed out white, mixed with tears. The musty smell of chalk when you walk into Mr. Jensen's classroom.
Blonde. The color of Mr. Jensen's hair that he no longer has.
Purple. When we finally won homecoming week.
Bluey. Greeting Mrs. Carlton as she tries to shake hands, but you're holding coffee, phone, water bottle, backpack, suitcase, keys, lunchbox, and shoes in those same hands.
Green. The smell when Jim mows the grass for the first time that spring.
Yellow. Accomplished. Winning the race for the front row of the spirit section, but then losing your voice 2 seconds later.
Purple. Hearing Mr. Henry's dad jokes. Again.
Red. The fiery anger that everyone feels when Coach Spencer says the word baseline.
Flamingo. The extreme attempt to not laugh at Mr. McCart's puns, but failing every single day.
Charcoal. On a more serious note, this is the color of us realizing that we weren't coming back.
Red. Loss. Every open gym, weight room, summer practice, at-home run we did to get ready for our sports season. And especially for all the hours we put into activities, clubs, classes, and relationships that we thought would be recognized, that we thought we would have closure for, that we thought we would win but didn't get the chance to try because of this virus.
Shadow gray. The tears, the anger, the frustration. The lack of motivation to do online school when there seemed to be no point to it at all. The loss of the last 3 months of our senior year. All 4 years of our high school careers, the hard work we put in, the trials we faced, and the strength we acquired to continue on, all to be locked into our homes and denied the opportunity to celebrate our accomplishments with our friends and our families.
Blue. This high school experience relates to life in many ways. One thing that I have learned is that nothing is ever set in stone. We are not promised an easy road. We are not promised a good job, family, career, or even another day. A great quote that has always spoken to me says, "Consider it pure joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience." This is from the book of James in the Bible. Faith. Religious connotation or not, faith is the backbone that keeps us going. What would we be working for if we didn't have faith that it would all work out? I think this is a virtue that all of us need to carry into the future of uncertainty so that we can be leaders in this journey back to normality.
This wall represents our class. It represents the memories, the growth we've had individually and together. It shows our struggles, disappointments, but it is not all gray. There are many bright spots. Times when we had fun. Places where we stood for what we believed in. Times in our life when we were brave and courageous. These spots, the bright colors, show through. And this week, in this time of unrest, we see the work ahead of us in order to make a just and peaceful society. As we go forward, let us continue to be brave, to stand in solidarity with people who need to have their voices heard.
Behind us stands the beautiful painting which represents the story of our class. But within each of us individually, we hold our own beautiful masterpiece. The diversity we have as a class is incredibly extraordinary, and it is something to be extremely proud about. Each one of us is going on to paint a completely different piece of art, one that is entirely unique and non-replicable. 13 students in our class are graduating this year with a high school diploma in one hand and their associate's degree in the other. 64 students in our class completed various Northwest career and tech programs throughout their high school careers. 6 students in our class joined the military this year. Some students in our class will be continuing on to universities, community colleges, tech, and trade schools, while others are heading straight into the workforce. You see, we all have different futures ahead of us, and that's okay. Our passions and our strengths will lead us and guide us in our paths to greatness. We will face hardship, we will be tried and tested, and we will be pushed to our breaking point. But we will survive. Our brightest colors will shine through, and we will have a magnificent canvas to show for our life story, a beautifully and wonderfully made masterpiece. This is the class of 2020. Now go out and start painting.
Hey! I got something to say, and then I ain't gonna say no more. Over 35 years ago, I stood in front of my first class of students in a little high school in Oregon called Yamhill Carlton, wearing a green button-up shirt and a tie. I tried to appear calm and in charge, but the sweat stains on my shirt belied my bravado. Thus, my journey in education began, and in a few short weeks, it will be complete. My life's work has been a teacher, a dispenser of knowledge, and here I stand at a commencement ceremony where I'm expected to dispense knowledge. And yet, I can't. I have nothing to offer you that will help carry you unscathed through the years to come and hopefully bring you happiness and knowledge. I am utterly devoid of anything of value to tell you. Oh well, that's never stopped Mr. Dorman, so here I go. Try to live each day as if it were your last day on earth, which means I would spend my last day on earth giving out worthless advice. And even if I was to give you some sage advice, most of you would not remember it, especially the boys. We men forget everything. That's how we have instant replay in sports. We've already forgotten what just happened. My guess, Colby Dills and Dylan Scheib have already forgotten what I just said. Anyway, most of us don't heed our own advice. I was stopped at the traffic light down here on Highway 20, and I saw a bumper sticker that says, "Honk if you love Jesus." Well, I do, so I did. The guy rolls down his window and says, "Hey, jerk, can't you see the light's still red?" So advice? I have none. But here's a few observations. If you think no one cares if you're alive, try missing a couple of car payments. If you lend a person $20 and you never see that person again, it was worth the $20. If you drink, don't drive. But don't park either. Accidents cause people. When it comes to social media, put down the phone and nobody gets hurt. A procrastinator's job is never done. And the fact that there's a highway to hell and a stairway to heaven says a lot about the anticipated traffic numbers. I could ask you to be good, but I don't think you'd heed that advice either, because you know you're bad kids. You're all bad kids. Isn't that right, Jarrett? So I decided to title my speech in honor of you, Terrible, Awful, Couldn't Be Worse. I have a rule in my class that when you're working on video projects, you can't play any music out loud that was produced after 1978. Because before 1978, there were only a handful of songs that had profanity in them. But you guys listen to music that is little more than Dr. Seuss lyrics with dirty words. One fish, two fish, blankety blank, blue fish. This one has a blankety blank ka. This one has a blankety blank star. What a blankety blank mess of fish they are. Terrible, awful, couldn't be worse. And I have concerns about your fashion sense. You spend close to $100 on jeans that are so ripped and torn, my mother would have thrown them out the next time I dropped them in the hamper. It makes me think. Do your parents ever go on about things they had to do without when they were kids? Like my dad grew up during the Depression, and if you asked him to pass the salt, it would set him off. We never had salt when I was a kid. We had to eat dirt. There was no air. You know what you'll have to tell your kids you had to do without when you were young? Good taste. Terrible, awful, couldn't be worse. And if you want to be a credible adult, please do not tattoo and pierce every available piece of flesh on your whole person. You know, I have a friend who's always looking for a woman with a tattoo. He says, you find a girl with a tattoo, you found a gal who is capable of making a decision she will regret later. Terrible, awful, couldn't be worse. And let me tell you something. Before you were born, your parents weren't as boring as they are now. They got that way trying to keep you from making the same mistakes they made when they were your age. I used to be cool, but my kids sucked the cool right out of me. But I'm having my revenge because now they have kids and they're getting the cool sucked out of them. And I'm a grandfather, and guess what? Grandparents are cool. Why can't you just be good? What is so bad about being good? What is so good about being bad? Just be good. Oh, I get it. You want to be a rebel, don't you? Why don't you ask the South how that worked out for them? Dylan Tacker said to me, "But Mr. McCart, the girls like the bad boys." And I said, "You know why girls like bad boys, Dylan? Because they think they can fix them. My dog got fixed. You want to be fixed? Terrible, awful, couldn't be worse." When you were younger, did you ever play connect the dots? As you moved through the game, drawing a line from one dot to the next, you weren't sure what you were making until you almost got finished and the picture started to take shape. Life is like that. In his speech to the graduating class of Stanford University, Steve Jobs said, "You cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future." Let me show you what it means. Every time you make a decision in your life, dots will appear in your future and you will draw a line to the next dot. And then you make another decision and another, and dots and lines of your life start to draw a picture of your dreams and accomplishments until you're old and worn out like me. Then you'll look back and you'll see how the things you did and did not do affected the picture of your life. Here's a good example. If you ask me how I'm doing, I will say, terrible, awful, couldn't be worse, but thanks for asking. I've been saying that since the 1980s. I said that once in 1990, and that phrase is the reason I'm here at Sedro-Woolley High School. I was working on the yearbook at South Albany High School in Oregon, and the Jostens yearbook rep came in to see how we were doing. And he asked me, "How are you doing?" And I replied, "Terrible, awful, couldn't be worse." And he said, "Have you ever thought about doing what I do?" And I said, "I don't know, what do you do?" 6 months later, I'm buying a home in Sedro-Woolley, and I'm selling yearbooks for Jostens. 2 years later, I was offered the job of photography teacher, yearbook advisor, and newspaper advisor at Sedro-Woolley High School, and the rest, they say, is history. I'm here because I took a chance. I didn't want to spend the rest of my life wondering what would have happened if I had taken that job with the yearbook company. I found out. I also found out that I love teaching more than I like selling yearbooks, and I especially love teaching here at Sedro-Woolley High School. But I wasn't always so cavalier, so je ne sais quoi. I used to be indecisive, but now I'm not so sure. For you see, when you get to the point where you've connected most of the dots and the picture is becoming clearer, you will look back and discover that you don't regret the things you did. Those things shaped the person you became. I don't regret the failures, the mistakes, the tough decisions. Those things made me wiser, stronger, more compassionate, more me. Rather, you will regret the things you didn't do. When I was in high school, I had 3 activities that I really loved: football, drama, and journalism. And I was pretty good at all of them. I was all league as a tackle. I had one of the leads in the musical, The Music Man, and I was editor of my high school paper. Yet, when I got to college, I felt like I wasn't good enough, so I didn't try out for any of those things at first. When I finally did join the newspaper, I was made sports editor after 1 quarter. I got a lead in a 1-act play, and I participated in spring football. I wasted 2 years thinking instead of doing. I was like the voice in the poem by Shel Silverstein. Last night, while I lay thinking here, some what-ifs crawled inside my ear and pranced and partied all night long. What if I'm dumb in school? What if nobody thinks I'm cool? What if nobody likes me? What if a bolt of lightning strikes me? What if I don't grow taller? What if my head starts getting smaller? Everything seems well, and then the nighttime what-ifs strike again. So don't listen to the what-ifs. Take a chance and don't worry about making mistakes. Think about it. As great as Moses was, he made a terrible mistake. He took the Israelis 40 years through the desert only to bring them to the one place in the Middle East that does not have oil. Your setbacks, your failures, I have to try that agains, make you who you are. Remember, Humpty Dumpty had a terrible summer, but I hear he had a great fall. Don't be afraid of doing something that will change you. Caterpillars aren't what they used to be. Sometimes the worst thing in your life will turn out to be the best thing that ever happened to you. In the book Stumbling on Happiness, author Dan Gilbert tells the story of a young man that was left standing at the altar. His bride told him she would not be coming. It was the best day of his life. Not at the time, of course, but it made him realize that he was dating the kind of person that would do that to him. He changed his view and met a woman with whom he is now sharing his life. Speaking of love, boys, I have some bad news for you. You will not be able to find the perfect wife. I already married her. And girls, I have some equally bad news for you. You will not be able to find the perfect husband. We don't exist. But let me give you one indelible aphorism about life. Don't be reckless with other people's hearts, and do not put up with people who are reckless with yours. And here's a bit of romantic advice. Marry someone who gives you the same feeling you get when you see your food coming to your table in a restaurant. Don't ever settle for second best in life, in love or in happiness. You are worth it. It's like the nanny in the movie The Help told the little girl, you is smart, you is kind, you is important. I am so grateful that God made me a teacher, because as Mr. Ramsey is fond of saying, we are lucky to be in the kid business because we get to work with people and not things, because people are loved and things are used and not the other way around. I have watched thousands of boys and girls grow up into outstanding young men and women in that brick building on the corner of 3rd and Bennett. I have worked with hundreds of kids for 4 years, only to never see them again. Such is the purgatory of a teacher's existence. I never saw the end of my career being anything remotely like this. Sitting in a barren classroom, emailing and Zooming. One day soon, I will turn off the lights in room 107, turn in my keys, and walk away from Sedro-Woolley High School for the last time. Cub editor Madison Tobish asked me in an interview for a story on my retirement what I will miss when I retire. I told her, I will miss the classes, the lip dubs, the debate tournaments, making the yearbook, and my colleagues, yes, even Mr. Jensen, my lip dub bud. But mostly, I will miss hearing my name called out by the hundreds of students over my 35-year career. The silence from those voices will be deafening. I've spent the last 3 months on the relatively empty campus of Sedro-Woolley High School. When you're the yearbook advisor, you're aware of most things than other people. Here are some of the memories and visions from the class of 2020. Shaylee Bumgardner and Manny Martinez on stage in the auditorium. In the lobby, Juan Ortiz, Romel Sargina, and Garrett Hudak in their usher uniforms, complete with bow ties. In the halls outside the band room, the new band uniforms worn by Natalia Taylor, Piper Smith, and Hallie Simpson. Just down the hall from that, the advanced treble choir dresses of Elise Gamson, Heavenly Strutzel, Jasmine Brigham, and Dylan Pickin. I know it's Strutzel, but how can you have a name like Heavenly and not say Strutzel? In Mr. Brask's room, Isaiah Guerrero's guitar. In the band room, Logan Gustafson's drumsticks. Zoe Slobodnik and Ariel Resnick, bows in hand during the orchestra concerts. The cafeteria during Thanksgiving, when everybody's plate was piled high with turkey, mashed potatoes, and stuffing. Hannah Forrest's softball gear and Anthony Zitkovich's baseball gear in the hall outside Rhonda's office. Grace Pohl, Sam Wise, and Amber Helinski helping lead the volleyball team to their first trips to state since Miss Oakes was in high school. Wow, that was a long time. Rafe Holes taking 3rd in state in cross country, and with fellow teammate Lachlan Boyd leading the boys cross country team to state for the first time in the school's history. And then Lachlan taking 2nd in diving the very next swim season. Cameron Kappan astride that custom Harley-Davidson motorcycle during the last ever lip dub. Harley McSpadden and Ari Betts astride their horses. Tucker Hershaw making the moves on Alyssa Lecca during the lip dub their freshman year. The space where Brent Vanderveen parked his Thunderbird. the propellers Bryce Whalen bought when he crashed my drones not once, but twice during broadcasting. Ariana Hearn's attitude. Right now she's saying, I don't have an attitude, Mr. McCart. If you don't believe me, watch the 2018 lip dub at the 6:15 mark. Jenna Burrows' belt buckles that were twice the size of Jenna Burrows. In fact, everything is twice the size of Jenna Burrows. Walter Costanza telling me that when I retire, the school district will replace all my beautiful Macintoshes with bland PCs. Ouch, Walter, that hurt. Having Jens Gifford in my yearbook class all 4 years, which just reinforces my statement that this is why tigers eat their young. I don't think that boy has ever had a bad hair day. And if he did, who would know? Our visionary Mitchell Pepper, who wore a protective mask long before it was hip. Keegan Blaine and Elijah Choate conquering the trap shooting world in the early fall. Emma Adams representing Sedro-Woolley High School in the prestigious Westminster Dog Show. Alan Cuevas yelling, "Here!" during roll call in digital photography class. Anna Rutherford, Chloe Hines, and McKenna Peterson avenging their loss as juniors in the seniors takes all powder puff game. And just a few short minutes later, Jacob Lennox and Peyton Burrell making their own fashion statement in the buff puff game. Enduring Asia McDermott's daily insults and then crying together on what turned out to be our last day of school ever. Standing in the halls, yelling out my puns, and trying to get Saul Sanchez Ortiz to smile. He was pretty tough, but I got him a couple of times. Speaking of my smiles, my favorite was and always will be Yelena Priashchuk. Sorry, Yelena. And look, there's the empty nook where you talked and laughed and touched and sighed. It is time to say goodbye. And I think I can speak for all the teachers, aides, counselors, secretaries, cooks, bus drivers, custodians, coaches, and administration when I say, at times you make us laugh, at times you make us angry, at times you make us worry and wander, and at times you make us cheer and smile. But mostly, and especially tonight, you have made us so very, very proud. Oh, and one more thing. Life comes at you fast, so make sure you duck!
What's up, all you graduates of Sedro-Woolley High School? I want to say very, very big congratulations to you guys on graduating. I know it's probably not exactly as you planned, but that's the way life rolls sometimes. You'll learn that a lot more over the next few years. And the greatest part is you've got your memories. You're never going to lose those. You got your people, you got your friends that you made so many memories with. So cherish those forever. And you guys are about to move on to something even greater, even better than you could have even imagined. You got some of the best years of your life ahead of you. So keep your heads up. I know it wasn't like you planned, but go on, do great things in this world. We 100% need you guys. Congratulations.
I was born under troubled skies,
brought joy and laughter to my family's life.
with love I grew strong and seized the day they sent me off to school so I could find my life and way. And we faced troubled times again.
COVID-19 wants to steal our wind.
Class of 2020, can you see us now? Seems like a cruel and messed up slogan now that we all hide away. Don't you know I'm still standing, standing as I ever did, looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. And I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sedro-Woolley was a place to start. Take all your favorite memories, keep them in your heart. But down the road, your future's bright as day. Your 2020 vision's perfect now.
Class of 2020, stand with the generations that came before you, who overcame the challenges and tragedies of their time. Stand with them and define yourselves not by the events of your time, but by the victories you achieve in your own life.
Don't you know I'm still standing, standing, looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid, and I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Class of 2020 graduates, recipients of over $3 million in scholarships, 13 students achieving their associate's degree, outstanding academic and career journeys, about to embark to top universities and technical colleges across our nation, enter our armed forces in the Navy, Air Force, Army, and Marines, begin apprenticeships in the Fire Academy, electrical unions, or enter the workforce prepared to make a difference. Class of 2020, you truly are a blessing. Just look at what you helped change in such a short amount of time for our entire school. Since freshman year, you have been begging for off-campus lunch. Not only did you get this privilege for yourself as seniors, you helped all students get this opportunity to have Hal's milkshakes, burgers, and fries every single day. Power Hour. How many times did you ask me, do I have to scan into Power Hour? Nope. Not since March 16th, off the hook the rest of the year. And thank goodness your parents did not receive an auto dialer for any missed scans too. I have quite a list of other key items that you requested and earned. Come to school in your PJs every single day, Monday through Friday. Yep. Sleep in late, sometimes till 1 p.m. Check. Instead of attending all 8 classes in 2 days, attending 8 classes over a 5-day schedule. And last but not least, the ability to turn in assignments at all hours of the night, not just frantically by the end of class time. All kidding aside, though, what you have gained, I realize, is at the expense of all you have lost. Countless days of friends close by your side. A beautiful prom dressed to the nines and dancing the night away. A graduation ceremony whole in its entirety. Hootenanny, senior awards night, moving up assembly, boundless hugs and high fives from your teachers and me, and so much more. We grieve with you in these lost moments. But with that said, you have the unique ability to never ever regret what your future holds. Class of 2020, your quote eloquently states, 2020, can you see us now? You have created a vision that will carry you through your entire life, because we see you now before us, humble, gracious, kind, persevering with non-stop spirit and heart. I have a gift for each of you to remember just what your vision statement means as you leave us as graduates of Sedro-Woolley High School. Class of 2020, clear eyes, full hearts. I stole this quote from a show called Friday Night Lights and an inspirational character, Coach Taylor. Given all that you've been through, it seemed fitting. What does it mean to have clear eyes? It symbolizes not being distracted or harmed by all the negative influences that can sometimes enter your life, keeping your eyes on the horizon and consistently on your dreams. So many times we tend to look down at the trials and difficulties trying to pull us away from achieving all we can. Lift your head up. Stay focused and always on where you're headed and what you are capable of. Only you determine what you see and focus on. Keep it as bright and burning towards the most impossible dreams and never look back. What does it mean to have a full heart? A life is not lived unless it is with a full heart. Money, riches, material things, they may fill us up in the short term, but for longevity and true happiness. It's the life that you lead with a full heart that will give you the most fulfillment. Surround yourself with people who enrich and embrace your soul with goodness and love. Give back to those in need and support what you believe in with every existence of your being. Believe that a love exists that is only meant for you to have. And most importantly, that horizon that you look at with clear eyes, believe in the dreams existing in your horizon with a full heart, never extinguished. More than 100 plus years in education. Mike Stewart, 34 years. Carl Huderman, 32 years. And Steve McCart, 35 years. I can say without a shadow of a doubt, they led their lives with clear eyes and full hearts. Examples of graciousness for all of us to follow. Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Class of 2020, if you keep your eyes focused without distractions on your dreams and do so with a full heart of grace and love, you cannot lose. Our world needs you and your vision. I wish the very best for you and will always believe in you. Carry on and lead the way. Mr. Brockman, as principal of Sedro-Woolley High School, I certify that the class of 2020 has met or exceeded all the requirements of the Sedro-Woolley School District. On behalf of the outstanding staff of Sedro-Woolley High School, it is with great satisfaction and pride that I present to you the class of 2020.
Good evening, and congratulations to the Sedro-Woolley High School graduating class of 2020. You're an amazing class, and we see you. Tonight is a night of thank yous. Thank you, 2020. You're a class that has taken ownership of your learning. You've had to endure this crisis, and you've had to develop patience as well as perseverance. Two qualities that will serve you well in your future. You're a great class, and now a legendary class that will be remembered forever as the class that survived the pandemic. You have represented Sedro-Woolley High School very well, and I can say I was humbled yesterday as you walked across the stage, cool, calm, and collected. We're proud of you, and we see you. Thank you, parents, guardians, friends, and family, for all of your support over the years. It's important to remember that you are our students' first teachers. You are there for support in the good and not so good times. Our graduates have made it, and to this graduation milestone in large part because of you. Thank you. Thank you to the Sedro-Woolley School community, our city leaders, service clubs, business community, faith-based groups, and alumni associations. For all of your support to the class of 2020. Thank you for being partners in education with us. All of you help make our mission a reality. And thank you to the teachers, administrators, staff, and countless volunteers that have supported all of our students during their tenure in the Sedro-Woolley School District. Thank you to our maintenance and custodial crews for setup and takedown. And thank you to Carol Stratoff. Her behind the scenes as well as years of experience coordinating graduation celebrations has been priceless. And thank you to Steve McCart and Ryan Haig for volunteering and stepping up to make this graduation ceremony the best it can be, the best in the universe. You both are highly appreciated. Finally, thank you to our school board directors, President Christina Jefferson, Vice President Eric Johnson, Danny Baird Russell, Mr. Enrique Lopez Cisneros, and Brandon Bond. Thank you for your excellent guidance and governance to ensure student success. And a special thank you to our student board reps, Alyssa Lecco and Jacob Lennox. You're both awesome individuals and represented your fellow Cubs very well. Please know your service was highly appreciated. We very much look forward to hearing from you in the future. Mrs. Carlton, you've presented the graduating class of 2020, and I'm honored to certify the class of 2020 to the Sedro-Woolley School District Board of Directors. The Sedro-Woolley High School graduating class of 2020 has met all of the district and state requirements to be Sedro-Woolley High School graduates. I present to you the Sedro-Woolley High School graduating class of 2020. Thank you.
Alyssa Jean Scherf. Austin Kaukauhu Maikai. Trayvon Jamar Young Treadway. Cody Nicholas Hilsinger. Tristan J. Conley. Morgan Bobby James Johnson. Garrett Alexander Hudak. Austin McCoy Ferguson. Vernon Ray Bigby. Nathaniel Ryan Hudak. Bryce Aaron Daniel Whalen. Rodrigo Francisco Lopez Padilla. Emma Claire Adams. Amy Jo Graber. Haley Anna Bryson. Madison Ray Tobish. Emma Nevea Lutens. Christian Ryan Johnson. Josue Daniel Diaz. Soren James Sprecher. Jacob Neil Collins Howard. Shaylee Zen Eileen Baumgardner. Walter Neftali Constanza. Evan Aeneas Fussman. Jersey Lynn Rose Pigford. Harley Carissa McSpadden. Ariana May Betts. Cameron Michael Cappen. Hannah Louise Bates. Jarrett Matthew Gant. Brandon Patrick Belisle. Mitchell Thomas Wolkenhauer. Isaiah Matthew Guerrero. Elijah Independence Price. Jacob Noah Lennox. Jacob Brian Norris. Gabrielle Charlize Richardson. Jillian Ever Ryan. Elise Camille Gamson. Nathan Joseph Cooley. Patrick Sean Pittis. Ariel Ampi Resnick. Avery Elizabeth Wagner. Rachel Michelle Neild. Elise Isabel Derby. Hallie Janae Simpson. Allie Marie Edson. Kelsey Nicole Loop. Emma Lee Cook. Samantha Jo Jewell. Alexa Deanne Lynn. Alain Brussel Garcia. Tatiana Davy Duke. Alisa Joanna Leca La Cruz. Morgan Iva Lee Rawls. Taylor Jade Walker. Tanner Eugene Smith. Kaylee Marie Thomas. Jenna Elizabeth Burrow. Caleb Christopher Ferris. Andrew Orrin Lohman. Isabella Renee Archer. Macy Lynn Hubble Evans. Denise Lopez Nolasco. Taylor Robert Procos. Piper Rose Smith. Alexander Michael Garcia. Dylan Joseph Scheib. Colby John Dills. Courtney Marie Bodden. Jens Peterson Gifford. Colby Saunders Yanez. Jacob Roy Townsend. Jocelyn Jade Aaliyah Renee Brantley.
Alice Rose Bates.
Jessley Denise Gonzalez. Romel Alejandro Saragina.
Carson Teresa Pierce Rooks.
Madison Renee Hill.
Tessa Corinne Smith.
Mackenzie Lou Hamilton.
Jared James Snodgrass.
Alex Stephen Smith.
Tyrese Nathaniel Franklin.
Matosapa Canum Jones.
Brandon Sal Rios.
Juan Jesus Ortiz Gonzalez.
Shelly Lynn Marie Staples. Cheyenne Jodine Jewell.
Liliana Tapia Madrigal. Loriana Valeria Castellanos. Carlos Brian Garcia Claustro.
Kelsey Alberted Cordray.
Toner Matlock.
Jaden Christopher Tanner.
Giovanni Dante Ugarte.
Roy Alexander Nicole.
Israel Lopez Martinez.
Brandon Tyler Coleman.
Riley Ann Miller.
Natalia Renee Taylor. Oh. Jaden Alexandra Vincent.
Anthony Isaiah Rivera.
Ariana Sherilyn Hearn. Jordan Louise Edwards.
Heavenly Joy Strutzel.
Devin Allen Gray.
Roanne Ashley Nicole Wagner.
Anna Lynn Joyce.
Emmanuel Martinez.
Anna Grace Waldrop.
Brandon Lee Billings. Aaron Ortiz Marin. Mauricio Medina Mondragon. Luis David Sanchez Aviles.
Aiden James McCalvey.
Noah Anthony Walls.
Ryan Lee Litkey.
Nathaniel Alexander de Laverne.
Vladislav P. Lewis.
Cristina Molina.
Mark S. Luce.
Anastasia Jody Kramer.
Riley Francis Brooks.
Elijah Forrest Choate.
Grace Marie Pohl.
Megan Marie Friend.
Amber Tennille Holinsky.
McKenna Ann Peterson.
Trevor Allen Bryant. Chloe Nicole Hines. Brent James Vanderveen. Kylie Nicole Bryan. Hannah Marie Forst. Madison Ann Lake. Lexani Bianca Brown. Peyton Xavier Burrell. Sebastian Jeffrey Hanna. Rafe Garrett Holtz. Camden Jeffrey Dohanyuk. Yelena Viktorovna Prizhaznyuk. Helena Michelle Hansen. Alan Joshua Cuevas. Angelina Vanessa Veit. Anna Marie Rutherford. Mitchell Anthony Pepper. Isaac Arza James. Mackenzie Nicole Moran. Nolan Roger James Dowen. Serena Erin Wilson. Eric James Johnson. Keegan Arthur Blaine. Tucker Aiden Hershaw. Anthony Joseph Zitkovich. Elliot George Gahan. Larry Dean Saldivar II. Raul Galindo Chavez. Alex Nathaniel Coleman. John Pablo Garcia. Alejandro Vega Macedo. Ángel Guzmán Cisneros. Jared Curtis Gunderson. Jade Angel Marie McGuire. Jasmine Marie Brigham Gonzalez. Weston Lee Rogers. Aiden James Waldrop. Malachi Owen Ross. Logan Scott Gustafson. Alexis Jade Wysong. Asia Ashanti McDermott. Stephanie Amaro. Ammon Michael Acton. Samantha Riley Wise. Logan J. Johnson. Zoe Kathleen Slobodnik. Shauna Christine Flores. Trinity Ray Lukey. Joseph Levi Jennings. Grace Elizabeth Collins. Coral Rochelle Hinson. Marcelino Lopez Martinez. Robert Tijerina. Colton Ray Flom. Jennifer Santos Morales. Saúl Sánchez Ortiz. Fátima Guadalupe Hernández Lara. Kimberly Arce Muñoz. Anaí Alcázar Salinas. Jocelyn del Carmen Aguirre Arellano. Amber Nicole Riley. Logan Edward Thomas Maloney. Jacob Michael Gwynn. Dylan Tyler Tacker. Jaden Joseph Thomas. Christian Renee Carreon. Kylie Janae Santiago Larson. Christopher Isaias Rodriguez. Christopher Patrick Connor. Aiden Shea Staley Eastman. Cristina Camacho Navarro. Eduardo Ruiz Valdez. Eleanor Rose Fair. Jason Allen Petty, Jr. Christina Dawn Collins. Lachlan Patrick Boyd. Cesar David Flores. Ulises Hernández Santos. Dylan Celeste Picken. Jacob Ryan Collerman. Manisha Rachel Brandy Hook.
Jade Allen Kidder.
Jordan Rayanne Harris.
Sydney Justice Sparks.
Eric Barrera Cedillo.
Ian Alexander Baldovinos. Natalia Arlana Schwetz.
Ethan Josiah Bagoni.
Zakaya Alexa Lundquist DeLuz.
Brandon David Booth. Devin Scott Reese.
Cooper Loftus Risto. Drusila Hernandez Flores.
Kenneth Colton Hatch.
Jasmine Rose Chavez Duarte.
Derek Andrew Horner.
Lucia Ramirez Aguilar.
John Beckett Jeffries. Charlie Ray Lintz.
Walking into the doors on the first day of our senior year, I doubt that any of us thought it would be ending the way it did. I look back and I think of all the times that we used to dream about senior year and the recognition that comes along with graduating. Although this year is unconventional, I'd like to think it's a blessing in disguise. We always hear how the graduating class will be remembered forever. I don't know if that's true for everyone, but I know it is for us. This year will go down in history books, become documentaries, and we get to carry a unique and unforgettable story with us for the rest of our lives. Despite facing a pandemic, we're still being celebrated widely throughout not only our community, but the entire nation. Because of this, our class is more prepared for the future than we could have ever expected to be. We know the importance of cherishing the little moments. We know that life is unpredictable, but we know that whatever may come our way, we'll get through it and come out stronger than ever. Although this may seem like the end of the road, this is only the beginning of the rest of our lives. So class of 2020, be strong, be heard, and live well. Let's keep making them see us. Please rise. Congratulations, class of 2020. 1, 2, 3. We did it.
Here beside the Skagit River stands our school so bold. 'Tis our own